It is time. It is time to brew your best beer. Brought to you by Beer Greens Supply Company, BrewTubers Online Brewers Club, Brew UK, Panhead Brewery, Tanner Ritchie, Finney's Homebrew Emporium, Brig Selv, Hackney Brewery, Hashigo Sake, Mangrove Jacks, Sprig and Fern Tavern, Yakima Valley Hops.
Alright guys, back for another one. Today we are reviewing Man Bear Pig American IPA, 7% ABV. So, there we go. So it's got a pretty cool little heat shrink wrap on the top. Those are pretty nifty. Have to look into those. Made some hard as shit to open up. Appreciate that. Okay. Alright. Alright. Got a nice head on it. This is the best head so far I've had in any beer I've tried in the competition. I was starting to think my glass was like killing head, but as you can see, it's not killing this one. Slightly hazy. But might work out okay. Well, you couldn't wait for the second act this time, huh, you little fur ball. But good looking beer, great color, right where I'd want a IPA to look. I'm actually gonna cut bowls are streaming up. Alright, let's give this thing a whiff real fast, and then I'll come back with the tasting. Wow. Okay, real nice hop aroma. Pungent. This is the kind of aroma I like to see on IPAs. You don't have to dig for any type of nose on it. I mean, it's right there. It's kind of a fruity and citrusy type of aroma. Almost like a tropical kind of fruit with citrus. So yeah, it smells great. Great smelling IPA. So alright. Let me take some tasting notes and be right back with you, guys. So I kind of wrote down my notes and score that I'm going to give it, and did some more tasting and pondering. But let me start out again. I know I already said it, but the hop aroma is fantastic. It you can tell you didn't use 1 or 2 ounces of hops on here. I mean, I can tell just from experience and doing dry hopping on a lot of IPAs, you've used quite a bit of hops on the dry hop, and that would probably explain the haziness. Although, you know what? As it warms up, the haziness has gone away, so I think it probably was chill haze. So, perfect score on appearance, by the way. Nearly perfect on the nose. Yeah, I can't speak enough about. I mean, you put your nose into this, and it's just hops. I've had fresher smelling hops. I mean, it's probably almost getting. I mean, just because of the way the competition works. I mean, I can tell you brewed this towards the end of the competition, which was smart, just on how fresh it tastes. This beer was tasting better a week ago than it was today. So, very little I could say bad about the aroma. But I have had more hop aroma, so I couldn't give it a perfect score. But whatever hops you use, they seem to play well together. Lots of pine, and there's a little bit of tropical stuff in there too, but a lot of pine. Pine's the main 80% of that smell. So I don't know if it was single hopped or just you just all use kind of piney type of hops, but it works good. So on the flavor, you put down that you have the hop bitterness is right on. It's not overly hoppy. The bitterness doesn't linger in the back of the mouth, in your mouth, which I've had trouble with in the past. And I think that's due to water. I think whatever you do with your water and your hopping schedule is good. So bitterness is great for an IPA. Not under bitter, not over bitter, just right. The pine hops definitely dominate the flavor as well. Any type of tropical that I was getting on the aroma is definitely not there on the taste. Yeah, it's all pine. It's like eating a pine cone, which I like. And so now we're going to get down to a little bit of a negative here. The one thing that I can taste in the flavor is that it does drink a little hot. So I'm 7.5%. That's decently big, but I can tell that the hotness that I get is probably, and I have had this too in the past, but is probably due to fermentation temperature. So I don't know if Josh, if you use if you have a temperature controlling fridge, or if you just kind of try to use your ambient temperature. But my guess, and this is just an uneducated guess, that it just got a little too hot, probably in the low 70s or something. It's not crazy, because I've done beers that have gotten into the high 70s and have had lots of alcohol warmth from that, and this isn't it. This is on the lower end of the alcohol warmth. This isn't something that maybe even someone that didn't know what they were tasting would pick up on. I just have brewed beers that have had worse than this, so I know when I get a little bit. But as you can see, I've not had any trouble, and the alcohol warmth has gotten better since it's warmed up a little bit, which is ironic, I think. But ooh, shit, shouldn't have done that. Definitely got the yeast cake in there. It was really clear. But yeah, so that alcohol warmth is really the only detractor in the flavor that I could get. And so definitely, I think keeping your fermentation, a temperature control unit, if you don't, I mean, maybe you have one, maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about, which is entirely possible. It still smells great. Picked up some of that yeast. Yeah, picked up the yeast, but that's all right. The mouthfeel, the carbonation was spot on for an IPA. Maybe slightly too high, maybe. I think it's probably on the upper end of the style as far as the carbonation. It's definitely on that, like, definitely carbonated, but it finishes definitely very dry. I'm willing to guess that your final gravity was quite low and right where it should be, because it finishes dry. It makes you want to keep coming back for more. There's no DMS, no diacetyl, no which I don't think is discussed enough. I think people always want to throw in like extra malts into and I don't know what other types of malt this is, what's in here, but people always want to throw in, and I used to do this a lot too, like a lot of crystals and a lot of this type of like malts in an IPA, and it leaves this lingering sweetness that I think some people might really like, which is totally fine, and I understand where that comes from. I like my IPAs dry. I like them bone dry. But I don't like the bitterness to be harsh, which this one is not, and it finishes dry. So the bitterness works out with the dryness, which makes a beer that will put you on your ass, because before you know it, you have 7 or 8 of them in your stomach. So yeah, man, Bear Pig, good beer, brother. Yeah, again, nice IPA. Just a little bit of alcohol bite on it, and it's kind of like a warmth. And it's a different alcohol bite that you get from like a 9% like double IPA or 10%. It's a little bit of a harsh alcohol type of a, almost like if someone kind of spiked your beer with a little shot of something. Like it's a bit different, and I'm pretty sure I recognize it. But anyways, I could totally be wrong. You could have kept it at 60 degrees for the entire fermentation, and now I look like a complete dick. Which, that's okay. Alright guys, yeah, Josh, enjoy the beer. Thanks, man.